Hey everyone, Road to Retire, the channel where I try to retire early with the help of side hustles. I talk about those side hustles, personal finance, my journey to retire early, investing. If that kind of stuff suits you, subscribe and follow my journey. Burnout, it's a real thing. And oftentimes I get comments on my channel, especially when I started saying I would do daily videos, which is insane. Even though the videos have lacked a little bit in quality and time, nonetheless, I'm trying to do a video every single day on this YouTube channel. And I got comments saying like, "Hey, you're gonna burn out," or we don't need every day. You're gonna get burned out. Truth be told, I usually make a sarcastic comment like, "Oh, I'm burned out every day," with a laughing, crying emoji or whatever. But that's kind of the case. I legitimately feel like I am burning myself out every single day. And the sad reality is, if you are someone in the FIRE movement, or if you are someone who plans on taking on side hustles alongside your job, and assuming you have any family or a loved one or some other responsibility in your life that's outside of your job, when you take on side hustles or you have the grandiose idea to retire early or join the FIRE movement and stack cash as fast as possible, uh, burnout's kind of a necessity. And if you don't feel burned out, are you really working hard enough? Now, I don't mean to go the entire hard ass route here and be like, "Oh, you got to work 20 hours a day and blah, 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 no sleep." And, I'm not going David Goggins side hustle mode here. But what I'm saying is, you do kind of have to push yourself to a certain extent. And in the same way that the YOLO crowd says, "Oh, you only live once, so I'm going to just like do it today because I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring," because there's a limited time on this planet, right? You have a limited amount of time. Everyone passes on. And I get that. And that's morbid, but they're using an excuse to, party today or whatever the case may be. Well, the same kind of case applies to the side hustle mentality, especially if you're trying to retire early or if you need the income. The point is, you need the income and you need it fast and you need it now. And just like the YOLO crowd says, your time on earth is limited, it applies the same here. Your time is limited. You got to just do it. And at the end of the day, you will experience burnout. And unless you have this secret magical side hustle that can pay you hundreds of dollars an hour and you do literal no work at all, and it just, money flowing in the background, passive fairy tale income, unless you have that going for you, you're going to get burned out. You have to do the work. Even stuff that is quote unquote passive, where you have to set it up initially, that initial setup, that active work to get that passive income can be quite daunting. Take like this YouTube channel, for example. Even though I'm getting paid passive income for videos that I've done on the past, I've thrown out so many videos on this channel, and I wasn't making any money on the road to retire side for like 4 or 5 months. So it's like I was just putting material out there for free, getting no benefit out from it. And I know like I'm not like crazy with editing or anything on these videos, but nonetheless, you're going to get burned out. Okay. I have a new son. I have a wife. I have a house to take care of. I have an 8 to 5 job. And I'm probably going to have to start going to the office a lot more in the future, which means I'm going to have even less time because I live an hour away. So that 8 to 5 job all of a sudden becomes a 7 to 6. I have to try and work out in lunchtime now at that job when I could just go outside for a run or go on a treadmill at my own house. So there goes that. And then guess what? I'm going to have to try to take care of my son, take care of my wife, and do side hustles at the same time in that very narrow window after or before work. And if I'm going in the office, well, tough shit. That doesn't mean that the side hustles just stop and your dreams just stop because, oh, I need a break. At the end of the day, you're going to get burned out. And it's just, don't crash out, but you will burn out a little bit. But don't get to the point where you're stressed so thin that everything just goes to hell. Something is going to give, right? And you have to kind of choose your evil. And right now with me, I'm just eating really poorly. And it's something that I honestly could easily fix, but I'm just using that as my vice of like the burnout. You could probably tell on camera that I've gained weight over my tenure here as Road to Retire, but nonetheless, you're gonna get burnout. Just learn how to cope with it, but it's common and you kind of do need to experience, or I feel like you're not really working to your full potential. And when it comes to stuff like this, you need the income now and you just got to go for it, right? There's going to be some sacrifices you just have to make. And that's the sad reality of it. If you're not someone who's, completely satisfied with their income and you can't, with their like, normal 8 to 5 job, and if you can't stretch your margin on a monthly basis, you either got to like drastically cut expense or you got to drastically increase your income. And, a lot of people take the route that I'm doing right now where I've kind of lowered my expenses to as much as they can go without completely ruining my life. So you just have no other choice but to gain income. Now, I've had a video on this channel earlier this week or last week of like, are side hustles a short-sighted approach? Is it better to just, try and achieve better income through your day job and, educating yourself further in that regards? That's up for debate, but nonetheless, you just need more money if you can't lower expenses anymore, and you need to get that monthly margin to either save or invest or whatever it is you want to do. And there's going to be tension, there's going to be a rub. You're going to, maybe not fulfill social relationships as much as you can, but that's just the sad reality of it. If you're just someone here looking to make $5 to $10, here and there a week because you want to buy, I don't know, a pack of Pokemon cards or something a week, well then, yeah, you're not going to feel that tension because you don't really have that like, oh my God, I need the income right now or else things go to hell. And when you're someone in the fire movement, like I kind of am, you do have to light that fire on your ass perpetually. And it feels like if you aren't gaining additional money as much as possible, as early as possible, as quick as possible, then you feel like you will never hit your goals. And it's just this endless cycle. So it's like, even when I hit major milestones, like paying my house off and having that completely paid off by the age of 34, and I honestly paid it off when I was like 33, then it's just like, you realize that it's like you're in this perpetual treadmill, but you're going to feel burned out, but that's common. It's going to happen. And it's just a part of the process if you really want to change your life in the future. Look, I know I'm burned out right now, but I can tell you right now, if everything goes the way that I want it to go and all this, stuff pays off the way that I plan on it paying off, well, then when I am 10 years in the future or 11 years in the future, when I want to quote unquote semi-retire, who knows if that'll actually happen. But if it does, let's just say, my son or future kids, if I have more than one, are going to be super happy that I have way more time to spend with them. I'm going to be more happy. Everyone's going to be more happy. And I'm going to look back at these burnout times and say, you know what? It was all worth it at the end of the day. Look how much time I have now. I am literally buying my freedom, and I thank my prior self for busting his ass and getting the job done. So that's my thoughts on burnout. Let me know your thoughts down below. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the next one.